WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have something from Velvet Fig. It's a blended malt Scotch whiskey, no grain added. Yay, from Wemyss Malts. It's a 2021 release. There's sherry hogsheads and sherry butts used here. 9,750 bottles, 46% ABV. Whiskybase number 185136, and it goes for about 39 euros over here in Germany. So let's pour this in here. There's a nice little infograph that I can take a look at and give you some more information about this, about the whiskey, because I thought that was kind of interesting. And I'm going to use the word actually well done, cool. Very nicely done here. Wow. So there we go. Now I can take a look at some I missed up. All right, very, very good. What we have here is a vatting, basically, we have a total of 9 first fill sherry oak hogsheads made from European oak, and there are casks of single malt. And we have 6 first fill ex-sherry butts, European oak, from single malt. So we have 55% hogsheads and 45% sherry butts. 9,750 bottles in total, and it should be a rich and fruity with a velvety mouthfeel. Velvety. All right, so non-chilled filtered, natural color, as I said, 39 euros. Now, I'm going to compare it to this one, a Compass box. The Spice Tree, also 46%, also non-chilled filtered, also no color added, and it's 42 euros. So you're paying basically about 2 euros, maybe 2.50 more for this, depends on where you're at. I have seen this on sale for 39.90, so it's basically about the same price. Now, some of my comparisons are okay. Some of them are fantastic, like this one. I'm going to pat myself on the back. And some of them are less than fantastic. Has to deal with the fact that I need to have the bottles here at hand and available to do the comparison. All right, so if we take a look at the color here, first of all, we will realize, or at least I realize, that they're somewhat similar here. If I were to give something a little bit of a darker color, it would be the Velvet Fig. Now, the nose, oh, it automatically gets reducted points here. I have sulfur. Now, this is a little bit interesting because I've read about 5 different people talking about this whiskey online so far, and not a single person mentioned sulfur at all. Why do I get sulfur? Am I oversensitive to sulfur? Maybe. But it is something that I get, and I'm not liking it at all. I watched a video the other day, and this guy said, I had this bottle of whiskey. It was very, very full of sulfur. I drank it down by almost down to half past the mark down in the middle, and then suddenly it was more or less gone. I was like, I'm not sure if it went or if you just got used to it, buddy. I'm not sure if the sulfur dissipates out of there. So, over here, the Compass box. This is American oak with French oak lids and bottoms. Oh, I like this so much more. This has that little bit of that old sherry funk to it. It's got a little bit of a cinnamony, fruity, plum and raisin moment here. Very interesting. I get a tiny, tiny little bit of chocolate, which I don't get over here. I should be getting chocolate, at least if I understand European oak correctly. Oh, maybe I do get a little bit of chocolate. I get a little bit of a raisiny moment. I love the fact that they wrote down oloroso. Here we just don't even know. So Compass box is here. Rich, intensive malt whiskey. The Spice Tree was resurrected, matured using custom-made casks with French oaks for the heads and American oak for the bodies. And they got their hands not just tapped but slapped for using staves in there at the very, very beginning. John Glazer, but it actually it gave them more publicity than I think there was more than any harm there. It says here, sourcing all Highland single malts primarily from the village of Brora, which means there's a lot of Kleinlich in here. And the wood is primary maturation in a mix of first fill and refill American oak, secondary maturation in new headed casks made of heavy toasted New French and oak um, from 190-year-old Vogue forests. All right, natural color, non-chill filtered. Interesting. It's interesting how they get totally different tastes from different types of profiles here. I really find it fascinating up until this day. Oh, by the way, my question of the day is, which design do you prefer better? Do you want to have more designs like this, color schemes, or do you want to have more designs like label schemes? So I'm going to give you, let's see here. So, for example, we have the compass box, the Spaniard. We have this nice little logo, this little thing on here. We have that little thing, but basically everything's same color. It's dark in this case. What Wemyss and Wemyss are doing with the velvet fig. There's also then the honey. There's the spice, and there's the peat smoke. Is they have each one in a different color. The spice is a little bit more red. The honey is a little bit more yellow. The peat smoke is like a steel blue, gray blue steel color. Very, very nice. I think that the colored boxes and the colored labels make it easier for people to identify different flavor profiles and different bottles. On top of that, I also think that these colors are a little bit more attractive to younger and sometimes even female new customers of whiskey. So in Germany, we have the little saying, you have to like what you see before you eat it. Yeah, and this is something that I personally like to see. This is a very, very nice box. Now, nothing against the compass box. It just looks old-fashioned. It looks traditional. It looks conservative. This looks much more up-to-date and a little bit more stylish. All right, so if I were to choose the two from the commercial point of view, especially for these lower priced bottles here around 40 euros, I think I would, as a new buyer of whiskey, I'd drift more over to the Velvet Fig. All right, trying to get around that sulfur note here, which is difficult. I do get a sherry. I often categorize sherry today in the syrup sherry, the sulfur sherry, and the good old stuff. And this is definitely that sulfur sherry stuff for me. Cheers. I'm having difficulty getting around that sulfur. It's there from the beginning till the end. Okay, very, very, very bad for me. All right, so the nose should be red and black berries. It should be figs, which I can agree with. There should be some milk chocolate there, some marzipan maybe, some walnuts covered in toffee sauce. All right, let's go for the palate. These are the official tasting notes here, all right? So the official tasting notes say luscious fruit flavors such as ripe figs, dates, apricots, and deeper fruit notes like raisins and sultanas. Milk chocolate spiced with nutmeg and ginger, and yielding sweet chestnut and toasted walnuts in the final. Luxurious, complex wood flavors, a little bit, appear cinnamon and ripe tobacco envelops the palate with endless subtle spice. I don't know if we can have endless and subtle in the same sentence describing the same noun, but that's just my opinion. Hey. All right, very, very interesting. It's a C. It's nothing more than a C. It's nothing less than a C. In my German video, I gave it almost a C minus because of that sulfur. in my English video. I think I'm going to go with the C. There's a good aftertaste. There's a lot going on here, and especially if you're blind to sulfur and not oversensitive to sulfur, this actually might be a good whiskey. In comparison, the Spice Tree from Compass Box. I believe to actually taste that spicy French oak in there. Oh, that's the old school sherry, more or less. I like Kleinlich anyways. This is right up my alley. This is fabulous, fabulous stuff for me. This is a C plus, maybe even going on a good day to B minus. Very, very nice. Very fruity, very complex. This is something I would not get bored of very easily. This here over here, I'm going to get bored of very quickly. Compared to this, oh, there's that nice oaky spice towards the end. For me, this has more of a dark chocolate moment than this does, which really, really confuses me because this doesn't have the European oak, except for the front, the French heads. But it's rather the whole body of the barrel is American oak. Here we have officially European oak in all the casks used, which I really don't get on the palate as much as other people have and maybe even should. So both of these around the €40 range. This is a high 3 plus, maybe even a B minus. This is a C, tending to go down towards the C minus. Value for money also here the same thing, a C going down to the C minus. Here actually I'd give it a C, maybe even a C plus for that taste there. Very interesting. Question of the day: which packaging do you like better? Are you more the color type or are you more the traditional type? Write down. I've just a few reasons why, and that'd be very, very interesting to hear from you. Thank you very much. Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. We have a total here of 9,750 bottles in Europe. Basically, I've only found bottles so far in the UK, in Germany, in Belgium, and in the Netherlands. They are 700 milliliter bottles. Maybe a few might make it to the States now when they're allowed. Okay, see you soon. Whiskey Jason. Don't forget to like, share, tell others, and also write down your comments. All the best. Bye-bye.